This piece of history is proudly supported by the Museum of Vancouver. Vancouver's story begins here. Welcome back to the show. We are in the basement at the Museum of Vancouver, also known as Collections Storage. This is where they keep all the stuff that you don't get to see except on TV and on their social media and all kinds of other places. But today we're talking about skateboarding. And a long time ago, there was actually a fantastic show about skateboarding here that PD from Skull Skates, the brand that was started in Vancouver more than 40 years ago, put together. There was a book. There was all kinds of other stuff around it. More recently, this is Sharon. She's from the Museum of Vancouver. And she did a show. What was the show?
Oh, so we were a destination for the traveling exhibit Border X, which was curated at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. And then whenever we host a show, we like to kind of bring a Vancouver element into it. So we worked with Nation Skate Youth on some programming around the show. And then we later collected a few pieces for the collection that are Nation Skate Youth. But we also did a side exhibition at the time called Skate for Change, where Norman Ibarra and Tristan Henry each went out and did photographs with local skaters. So Norma did the female skaters and Tristan the male skaters, including Joe Buffalo. And they did we printed them poster sized and did an exhibition. And then there were a couple little videos as well that were, it was just after COVID. So we had money for digital content. So we had them make a couple small videos to go in the exhibition as well.
Cool. So there were two running in tandem, the local one and the one from Winnipeg. And then you guys made this book afterwards?
So we didn't make the book. Nation Skate Youth did the book. It was a fundraiser for them, and the proceeds went to the Indian Residential School Survivors Society. But I collected the book, to support what they were doing, but also because some of the photos from the exhibition are featured in the back of the book, including this one of Joe Buffalo. Yeah,
Joe's on our show today.
Yeah, and so that's Tristan Henry's photograph. So he's also one of the Nation Skate Youth founders, I would believe. Yeah, cool. And then they even were we had a skateboard ramp in the galleries during that show that Van sponsored the exhibition, so they built us a skateboard ramp, and then we had Nation Skate Youth running programming here at different times, and we also had a local skateboard group called Spectrum Skateboard Society who ran some programs, and they were autistic youth. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you have this board as well in the collection.
Yeah, so we got
Tell us about this board.
Years ago. We don't really have a lot of skateboards in the collection, and so I like that this was Rose Archie, and that she's big with Nation Skate Youth and a presence in Vancouver, and I thought it would be a nice piece to collect. And then it's also got a jingle dress on it. Yep. And the story behind the skateboard was, about the potlatch ban and people not being able to wear their regalia. And so the importance of, showing this beautiful jingle dress that I believe her sister made for her.
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. And Rose is one of the founders of Nation Skate Youth as well. She's in the book. She's in the show as well. That's fantastic. Yeah. She is from Secwepemc, but she lives in Vancouver and is a pro skateboarder. And this was, I believe, her first pro model skateboard. And it's in the collection at the Museum of Vancouver. When's the next skateboarding show?
I'm not sure yet. But yeah, definitely, we like to keep it contemporary here, and I'm betting we'll see some more.
Yeah. That was awesome. They have so many things at the Museum of Vancouver in the archives and on public display. We're going to be going there every episode this season, and that is the show for this week. Big thanks to Joe Buffalo, to Casey Hall from the Health Sick Nation for making this t-shirt for me, show director Derek Wong, roving reporter Nina Savage, editor Arav, and everybody at employee-owned CHEK Media. Follow me on social media for more stories, and check out my quarterly digest, the Now You Know BC Almanac at bcbob.ca. You can buy copies there for $25 and subscribe to my newsletter where I do regular giveaways, sometimes for this. And of course, I will see you here on CHEK next week when I'll be telling you more stories about this great province of ours. And now you know BC.